Class?
Yes.
Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. For everyone trying to follow along and paying attention, today we are on... What are we on?
21.
19. Yeah, 9 plus 10? 21. Anyway. Okay. If you take a look here for this one right here, general addition rule, closer look at the money. So I don't know if you guys could read it here. This is the $1, $2, 5, 10, right? 20. I don't know if you guys can see it. So 50. 50 is easy to read because nice and big. And this is 100. Yeah, right? So, pop quiz. Who's on the 100? Benjamin. Everyone knows that one. But who's on the 10? Hamilton. Yes. Yes, Hamilton. Hamilton. Who's on the 5? Lincoln.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around.
Isn't he also on the penny?
He is also on the penny.
He's so special.
Oh, Andrew does.
Yeah.
He gets two. Bonito body.
All right, anyway. So, right here we're going to do some notes to go along with this. And it says, or but not disjointed. So, does that really make sense?
No.
Say no. Okay, good, it doesn't. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to talk about this by what we have. So, we first have the set. The set, that's my S, is going to be 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. That's a set. That is everything that could be is in that set. I cannot have anything outside of that set. The set. There is a $3 bill. Is that part of my set? No, that's not in my set. I'm only using this right here. There is a $1 trillion bill. No, not trillion, million. There's a $1 million bill. Also, not in the set. They've only been using $1 million bills to transfer money from bank to bank. Yeah, yes. You can't spend those. That's only to have the paper currency from like a big bank transfer instead of actually having a whole bunch of ones or 20s. They have a $1 million bill.
Imagine that's a fast food with the
You go through drive-through.
And they're like,
Hey, Chewy. Hey, come check to see this.
We don't even
Can you see if this is right?
we don't even have that amount in our, in our little
Hey, we got a $1 million bill here. Hey, can you check to see if this is right? Yeah, just run the pin on it. Okay, so they do the little pin on it.
They don't even do that. They just do this.
I know, right? But what are you really looking for when you do that?
The little face, the guy face,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
the little line thing.
Okay, so yeah. So anyway, so your shift leader Chewy is be like, just check to see if it's got that line. All right. Hey, how do I make change for $1 million?
I really don't.
You can do it.
I don't sell hundreds.
You don't? Good.
I get them. I'm like, we don't sell hundreds. We do, but we don't.
Do you know what I found out? By law, if you were to take a $100 bill and it is fake,
You have to keep it.
no, you're responsible for that. So the money that you gave back, you consider
pay
that,
it.
yeah, you have to pay that 100 back.
To the company.
Yeah, to the company. So by law, that would be if you were to give away money to make change for that, you're responsible. You're legally responsible for that.
They take it from your check.
Why do you know that?
Because I work in the fast food.
Okay, so you've done it before?
I'm a manager, yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Nice. I'm like, you owe like $50. Sorry.
All right, anyway. All right, so now here's all my included values. Odd numbers are 1s and 5s. So that's the set of odd numbers, right? The set of all odd numbers are 1 and 5. Those are the only ones that are inside there. Now the set of bills with a building on it. So if you're looking at that money, the ones with a building on it are, let's see, the $2 bill's got someone doing like the Captain Morgan. Anyone have a $2 bill?
No.
Yeah, you look at it on the back. On the back, they're like doing the Captain Morgan. It's all like this. 5, there's a building. 1, there's Illuminati. 10, some building. Federal Reserve. 20 is the, what's that, the White House?
I think so.
50 is the Capitol building, and 100 is a statue? Is that what that, what is that? Anyway, apparently it is a building. I know, someone built it.
Wow.
Anyway.
Congrats.
Hey. Yeah, see there. Anyway, all right, so why is P of A or B not P of A plus P of B? So what I'm going to do is I am going to write these out. P of A. What would P of A include? P of A, so probability of A. So what is the set of A?
1 and 5.
1 and 5. So I'm going to write this out. 1 and 5. Plus the set of B. So these are writing in set notation here. So the set of B is going to be 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. Just like that. It's kind of warm in here, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Now, hopefully y'all just wrote that down. Did you write it down? Do you need something to write with? Anyone need something to write with? Anyone need a place to put your AirPods so you are listening to me with both ears? Unless you like plugged your ear so it doesn't fall out the other side. Is that what it is? Okay, so put them away. Now, anyone see a problem with these two sets? No. What's wrong with the 5? What's wrong with the 5?
It's already.
It's not. Oh, no.
What about the 5?
It's in the first.
It's in the first set and the second set, isn't it?
Yeah, so you gotta take
Yeah, that's what it means.
And then keep just those two.
That, yeah, just exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Is it in both sets?
Yes.
Yeah, so we can't just add together two sets if they are intersecting. There's numbers that are in both sets. That's called the intersection of those. So what we are going to do is we would add them together like this. So we would do P of A, which would be,
1, 5.
so it's, how many's in this one, right? 2 out of 5, right? So 2 out of, actually is there 5 or is there 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 out of 7.
7. And
Plus the next one, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 out of 7. But they have some in common, don't they? How many do they have in common? They have one of them in common, right? They only have the 5s in common. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract that one. Minus 1 out of 7, because they only have 1 out of all 7 in common that are in both sets. So from there, let's add those together. So it's going to be 2 plus 5 is? That's 7 over 7, and I still minus 1 over 7, which is a grand total of 6 out of 7. Or as a decimal, that's a boot. How do you get a decimal? Divide it, right? What'd you get?
0.85.
0.85. 85. What's it? Next number?
7.
7. Okay, let's just say that. There we go. Is that easy? Yeah, that's super easy, right? And by identifying the problem, we're able to say, oh, hey, look. I can go from there. So that is the rule for when we have intersections where they're both have something in common. Now I am going to go to the next one. So this one right here says, are currently in a relationship. Okay, sorry. A survey asked respondents the following questions. Are you currently in a relationship?
No.
Are you involved in sports? I'm not taking a survey. Are you involved in sports? Okay. So according to my percentages, now the word percent means what? Percent. Percent. What do you think cent goes to? 100, right? So percent means for every 100 or out of 100. Very good. So to write this out, I would say that this would be 33 out of 100, 25 out of 100 are involved in sports, and 11%, which is 11 out of 100, is yes to both. And the reason why I'm writing it like this is because very, very rarely do we get easy percentages. It's usually some number out of my total, my out of, and that's what I'm going for. All right, so let's see. What we're looking for is students that are, okay, in a relationship and involved in sports. So P of R or S. It says P of R or S. But there's a problem with that. The or, if you remember from 7.2 notes, the or means I'm going to add. Very good, right? The or means I'm going to add, but I can't just straight up add them. Because why?
They have 100.
You
Ooh,
said so.
close. They have what?
You said so.
They said both, right?
I don't know.
They have both. The problem is if you added people with relationship and you added people with sports together, wouldn't you be doubling up on people that have both? Right? That's what that means. So you cannot double up on those. So what we're going to do is we add those two together and then we subtract what? Not 100, 11. Why am I subtracting 11?
Because they have doubles.
Yeah, because have yes on both. So they're in both categories. So I don't need to count those twice. I only want to do it once. So it's going to look like this. It's going to be, what do we have? So P of R, so R's relationship, so that's going to be 33 over 100 plus 25 over 100. And then I'm going to subtract what they have in common. The intersection of the two. The ones that are in both categories. 11. 11 out of 100. And I know you people are actually doing this math, right? Because you're feeling pretty good about this. Be like, I got this. You can do it. It's all up to you. Good. Good. You can do it. Good. Good. Let's go. Good. So I know you didn't pick up your phone right now because you're supposed to be using your calculator. Don't even perpetrate like you're doing it. Yeah. Calculator. And do you know why you can't see from way back there? Because that's not your seat. You promised that you sit back there, you'd be good.
That's a long lesson.
It's actually not.
You're explaining.
What do we come up with?
47.
47 out of 100. So another way of saying this would be 47%. So there's a 47% probability that a randomly selected student is in a relationship or is involved in sports. Right? So what does that mean? Who is not in a relationship or involved in sports? Yes, that guy right there. Someone else had a hand over here. Yep. It would be 53 that are not in both. Because that has to do with a complement. The word complement, that was the Austin Powers of the last set of notes. Remember Austin Powers? You're all. You complete me. You know you want to. There you go. Yeah. So the complete total amount would be 100%, wouldn't it? 100%. So completing it, the complement to that would whatever I'm missing to add up to 100%. So to do this, all this together would be my 100%, right? So over here, R was my 33, 25 for S, 11 in between. So you said 53 is everything in the outside, right? Yes. All right, let's see if we can figure this out now. Not in a relationship and not in sports. Didn't we just do that one? Wow. Okay, so we figured out it was the complement. So not in a relationship and not in sports. But the way that we could do that would be the complement to the relationship. So my relationship is what percentage? 33. The relationship is 33. What would be the complement to that? What would be the completion of that? What is missing to make that complete? Okay, now think about it. What percentage is complete? 100. 100. Very good. So complete is 100, right? So what was missing to make that complete? 67, right? I can't hear you from way back there.
Well, you minus 33 to 100.
Yes, because that's going to give me everything else besides that. So I go, that's going to be 67 over 100, right? That's this one. That's the not relationship.
And then the other one is going to be like 75.
75, very good. So it is not in sports, is 75 over 100 because those are not in sports. But what about those people that are not in both?
And it's going to be like -8.
So you add those together and then subtract the 500, right?
No,
Oh,
You divide.
and you subtract that time, right?
no. Are we still missing? Do we have some in common for both?
100.
We have some 11 are in both, right? But I want to subtract the complement to this because right here this says they are in both, but I want to subtract those people that are not in both.
So you
How about this?
67.
Would you get 89?
What's the complement to 11?
Oh.
Remember, 11 is the ones that are in both, right? There's 11 in both, and so the complement to the 11 means to complete the 11, right? And completion is 100% in this case.
Oh.
So since I have 11%, the completion of that is going to give me 89. So this is the nots for all that statements that I had. So all of them that are not in a relationship, that are not in sports, and then since there is overlap of ones that are in both or not in both, okay, so a couple people in here that are not in a relationship or not in sports, we gotta subtract him. So we subtract 89. So what do we come up with?
53.
There we go. Or 53%, because that's how we get this number here. This is the process to get this number here. My 53%, my missing unknown that makes everything add up to 100%. That's how I do that. So that's the formula for that. So not that plus not that minus what they not both. Yes. So these are complements. Okay, in a relationship but not sports. Ooh, in a relationship. What's the percentage in a relationship?
33.
Okay. Not sports. Okay. So if I'm looking at my Venn diagram here,
Is it 86?
The relationship is here, right? So those that are in the relationship, are there some of them that are also in sports? Right? There is, right? So what would I do? So I know these are all my relationship values. And I want to get rid of the ones that are in a relationship and are playing sports. So I'm going to take away 11. Does that make sense or nonsense? No? Maybe? Speak. Yes, no, maybe? Maybe? Alright, I'm going to come at you here in a little bit. You're going to help me with this one coming up, alright? You ready? You're going to get it. So, we came up with how much is in a relationship but not sports. 22% is not in a relationship and not sports. So, relationship, not sports. Now, the next one that we're going to do is going to be in relationship or involved in sports, but not both. In a relationship, so the relationship would be right? Or involved in sports, but not both. Okay, so there's relationship here, right? But how many of these are involved in both? 11. So what am I going to do with these people here? I'm going to minus 11. Oh my goodness, that's a horrible minus sign. I know, right? So this is going to give me that are in a relationship, but not both, right? Now the next one's going to be or, so I'm adding sports, but not both. Which ones are sports? 25, right? And I don't want to be both, right? Out of these, how many of these are actually in both categories? So I'm going to get rid of these, right? So what I'm going to look for is only people that are in one thing. Either you're in a sport or you're in a relationship, but not both. That's what we're looking for here. So I'm going to subtract my 11 again. 100. There we go. All right, so we get 22 plus, what's that, 14? 36 out of 100. So 36% of all these people in the survey was in a relationship only or sports only. Does that make sense or nonsense? Kinda. Yeah, this one's kind of a pain, but wait till we actually get to the chart, and the chart's easier. Yes?
So, wouldn't it be easier to add 33 and then minus that 11%?
Okay, but if I subtract 11, what would I come up with? Because if you notice, I subtract 11 from this one and 11 from this one, right? So 11 from both groups, not just 11 one time. That's why this one's different than my original problem that I did up there. Okay? All right. So next, I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to give you guys a moment. I would like for you people to try this one right meow. You people right meow are trying this one here. Right meow. Do the same thing that we had. Same thing that we did. Facebook or Twitter. So this is an and statement here. So it's not like this one. It's like the first example that we did. So we have this one minus Twitter. This is the neither, doesn't have both. Like this. Facebook or Twitter, but not both. This would go with this way. Okay? Coming over here to pick on you again. Yeah, oh my goodness. Okay, so now it's like Facebook or Twitter. So this is the fourth statement. So we're going to do this plus this, right? Like we would have some that are in both groups. And that's one of them. Yep, just like that. There we go. Okay, so this. All right, let's see if we were paying attention. If being the keyword. So let's go through and start filling in some values. So Twitter, no wait, 71, Facebook, 71, Twitter 18, and fitting in the middle. So Facebook or Twitter. So now Facebook would be 1, so it's going to be 71 over 100, plus the Twitter, 18 over 100. Now, do we have overlap? Do we have an intersection of both those? If there is overlap, then I need to subtract that. I need to subtract how many are overlapping there or are in both groups. So I would subtract 15 over 100, which is going to give me a grand total of 74 out of 100. So 74% use either Facebook or Twitter. Now, how about Facebook or Twitter, but not both? This one's but not both. That means I have to exclude the ones that are using both. So, how many people would be using Facebook by itself? So, start with 71, right? Facebook. Minus 15%, right? And that's going to be just Facebook alone, right? That's going to be just this right there. Plus, and we're going to have 18, there's my Twitter, minus 15, right? And that's going to be this value out here, but not both. So that's how I can go through and do that. So let me see, that's going to give me grand total of 59? Okay, so it would be 59%. So out here, so it's 74, so this is 26 on the outside. Okay, so see this right here? Facebook or Twitter. So all together, this is 74%, right? All that together, 74. And so the complement to 74 would be 26. Yeah. Hey, it's all right. Maybe it's like something we should write down because I know. I'm almost positive it's going to be on the test. So don't use Facebook or Twitter. Ooh. So let's go not Facebook. Not Facebook. What's the complement of Facebook? Remember, complement is complete. And what is complete in this story? it is going to be 29, but completes 100, remember? These are all out of 100. That's the reason why we're doing it as a fraction like this. So to complete that, it is 29. So not Facebook over 100 plus not Twitter. What would be not Twitter? 82, very good. But do I have some overlap? Okay, so I'm subtracting the complement. What's the overlap here? The overlap is 15, but what's the complement to that? 85. So I'm subtracting 85 out of 100. So these are all complements. They're all the not values for each one of those. So it's the Facebook, the Twitter, and the both. It's the complement of each. So go ahead and do the math, and I'm going to get a grand total of, what's that, 33? 26? Yeah, 26 out of 100. So 26% did not use Facebook or Twitter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hopefully? Melanie? Yeah? Okay. Ty, you trying not to go to sleep? Am I just that boring today? I'm trying not to be boring. I'm really not. Yeah, doing my best. These are going to be easy. They're so much easier. These tables are easier because you write down everything and then you do your math. Okay, how many total students are in drama?
Oh,
60 in drama. How many total students are in sports? 200. How many are in music? You say 80? Okay. How many male students?
oh. 172?
172. How many female students? 168. And how many total students? 340. Okay. So now, we're going to go through and start picking out my values. So this goes back to one of the first ones that we did. So, sports. So, what's the value we have for sports? What's the total for sports? So, 200 out of 340. That's my total, right? Okay. Male or drama. Now, male or drama. Let's start with male. How many males is there? So there's going to be 172 out of 340. Right? Male, 172 out of 340. Or is going to be a plus. Drama. 60. So very good, drama. So it's going to be 60 out of 340. But now, is there overlap? How much overlap is there? How much? Don't shrug your shoulders at me. I saw that. Is there any in both categories? Yeah, it is 22. Because the 22 right here are male, and they're also, wait, no, wrong, sorry. Yeah, 22 right here is male, and they're also in drama. They're in drama, and they're male. So it's in both categories. So what would I do if I have overlap? Yep, subtract 22 over 340. And do me a favor, give me a decimal. Since we're no longer working out of 100% no more, right? We're not out of 100%, so you're going to give me a decimal. So this is going to be about 6-1. Okay. Now, what about the sports? We didn't do that one. Maybe we should. What's that, 0.55? I don't know. I can't remember. So, let me see. 20, so 10 out of 17. 5.8? Okay, sorry. All right, 0.58. Music and female. Okay, so music. This is actually a lot easier to do it like this now. It's a lot easier. Look in the music category. Only music category. Okay? So we're only looking at the music category here, right? And female. How many are music and female? Nope. Music and female. Is there 48? Just 48? Music, so I just look at that, and of that subsection, there's only 48, right? That's why I say these ands are easier. Because you can look at the category, and there's a subcategory, music and female, so that's only 48 out of 340. What's my total? 1.14, like 14%, right? Yes. Now, what's this C on the outside right here mean? What's that C to the outside mean? Jader, what's that C to the outside mean? Okay, so that is your...
You know what I'm trying to say.
I do.
You know what I'm trying to say.
I do, but what's the word? Compliment. Thank you. See, the problem is Jahir put in both earbuds during my lesson to ignore me even more for some reason. I don't know why. It got kind of weird, but he just put both earbuds in. Oh, okay. Just the one on this side. Okay, so you want to block the noise coming from this side. So the not C right here. So the C to the, or music raised to the power of C looks kind of like that, right? So that's the complement. And remember, that's complete. What's going to complete that? So let's look at the category of music. The category of music is how much? 80. Okay, what's the completion now? What's the completion on all of these? 340. Completion is 340, right? So the total amount should add up to 340. So what would the complement of music be? 260. Very good. 260 out of 340. Because I took my total of 340 and I subtracted what I have, 80, and gave me 260 out of 340 now. That's the complement. That's how much more you need to complete it. So as a decimal, we get 7.76. Okay. Is this actually not bad? So hopefully you guys actually start working on this right away, and don't forget. And don't fall asleep, and don't start pulling out your phone and playing on Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter or... I don't even, what the hell are you guys on anymore? TikTok. Oh, cancer. You got cancer now. All right. So don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button and buy stuff from my merch store.